journey. Time passes, he leaves home, he gets out of that space, and goes to a bigger city, a new place, and finds people that are like him, and pulls him into their world. And we play with a lot of duality in this show, so a lot of the characters change on stage, become new people, which plays into that idea that we are attracted to the things that we know, right? With our lovers, with our friends, we find qualities of our parents that we fall in love with in people, and so we play with that a lot in the show. And we really find this character at his peak, at this point of feeling high on life, and he kind of reaches a point where he wonders if he's lost too much along the way. If maybe in all his gain, some things have slipped through the cracks a little bit. So. Away we go, angel.
Jacob Carr. I am the conceiver, director, and choreographer of Ain't Done Bad.
And what is Ain't Done Bad about?
So Ain't Done Bad tells a story of a young man from a broken home and from a family that doesn't totally get him or understand him. And he really feels the weight of that on his heart and on his chest kind of at all times. And it's about someone making decisions for himself, you know, getting out of there, finding new life, exploring what love could feel like in truth. And so we follow his journey out into the world, and then we see whether or not he makes a return home at the end or not.
Why Ain't Done Bad?
Good question. I love this one. So in the original version of the show, this is our 4th year working on this, so it's been around for a little bit now. Original version of the show, there was a piece of music in it that was a lyric from that piece of music that over the course of history, the story's changed a little bit, some of the music has changed, but something about that phrase really stuck with me that, you know, we're all kind of fine at the end of the day as long as we choose to be. And there's something to be said about, you know, I ain't done bad. It hasn't all been a mess or a wash. I can't really get that out of here. It really sticks to the piece for me.
I absolutely love the music. Who did the music? Where did it come from?
So this is a country artist. His name is Orville Peck, and he's been around for a few years. And the first version of the show I wrote based off of his first album in 2019. And he's released new music every year, so I've been able to kind of course, through licensing and rights and approvals and things, pull in new pieces and adjust the story and help the characters evolve. And he's great. I mean, he's doing major partnerships now with Kylie Minogue and Willie Nelson, and he's kind of starting to blow up, which is great. And his voice is unbelievable. I feel like he sings the way that I dance, if that makes sense. I feel like the first time I heard his music, I thought, like, is this already a show? Is this something that already exists that I didn't know about? And so through just the partnership of his voice and my choreography, it kind of blended really quickly, really easily.
What got you into dance?
I'm from a sports household. My dad and brother and my mother are all very, very athletic, and I played every sport in the book as a child, and I didn't like any of them. I thought they were all so boring, and my mother threw me into a dance class, and I remember walking out of the class, and she asked me how it was, and I said it was kind of easy. It was the first thing I said, and that was kind of a ding, ding, ding moment for my mom to keep me back into dance and see how it went. And the woman who taught me that one class became my teacher through the rest of my training as a kid, all the way through graduating high school. So it really stuck. It felt like the right fit right away.
Who inspired you to dance? What choreographers, what dancers, what gave you that momentum?
Yeah, I think that for me, I started dancing around the time that the movie Center Stage came out, which was such a ballet movie, and I didn't even know that there were different forms of dance at the time. So I think that was kind of my first inspiration. I had done some theater, and I had done, little local musical theater, and I had enjoyed that. Um, and then a couple years after I started dancing was when So You Think You Can Dance came on TV for the first time. And that for me was like, oh, I'm going to do this. This has to be my life. I want to be on that show. I want to be like those people. So they all became my heroes and very quickly became my friends and my peers and my actual confidants in real life, which was really a cool thing to grow up into.
Was there any other kind of dancers that inspired you? Because your choreography is incredibly athletic.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I think as a kid, I was just kind of going day by day. But as I got more into my career and I started working with the greats, I started working with Andy Blankenbuehler, and I started working with, the Sonia Tayas of the world and the Mia Michaels of the world, and people who were really just unapologetically dancers and athletic dancers and wanted to showcase the power of the human body. It's something that can get lost in dance sometimes. We worry about being graceful and being really poised, and I think you can do that while also being rough and rugged. And so I think my movement comes from knowing how strong we are as dancers, knowing how hard we work to be as strong as we are, and showcasing that, I think, more than anything.
You've done Ain't Done Bad now for 4 years. Are you working on anything else? Are there other projects that are in your head?
My head is max capacity. I have so many thoughts and ideas and dreams, and I wrote this one on a legal pad in an evening. And as soon as I wrote it and then created it, I thought, well, I should just do more of this. I should try and fail as many times as I can. And so really up to this point, this is the only one that I've worked on. But I have so many ideas that I want to bring to life, and I want to give dancers work. There's so many brilliant dancers in this city that are kind of waiting their turn. And I hope that I can be the person that gives them their turn.
What haven't I asked you that you would love for our audience to know?
I think the story of the show is as you've seen today, and in the true full form of it, it's a very intense story, and it really deals with a lot of family issues that I do want to say are not autobiographical. I need to put that out there. I have a very loving family, but I really think that the show, in and of itself, it's a testament to the people you gather along your journey who help you, and the people who you choose to keep, and the people who you choose to say, I think you're part of my past now. And I want to be able to speak to that for everyone, because I think that is relatable across the board. It doesn't matter if you're part of the queer community or not. I think we all can experience that, and we all can understand that sometimes we just have to grow up and move on and hope that we find our happiness along the way.
And when does Ain't Done Bad perform?
So our first preview is July 9th. We have just a quick 6 days of previews, and then we open officially July 14th here at the Signature Theater. It's gorgeous.
And how long do you run till?
We run through August 31st.
There's a brand new dance show that's opening up at the Signature Theater called Ain't Done Bad. But what makes this show very interesting is that there are two producers from two different parts of the country that have gotten together to put this show on for you. We are with...
Patty Maurer.
Where are you from?
Well, I live in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, but I come up here quite a bit.
What made you come from South Carolina to bring this show to here?
Well, with Jacob and Donald, Jacob met me with a colleague in South Carolina, actually, and that's how we started talking about the piece. And then we got together with Donald, and we both produced it, what's the summer of 23, last summer. I'm sorry, I'm losing track of time. Yes, so last summer, and we produced it at Donald's Theater in Orlando, and then I took it up through North Carolina to Durham and Greensboro and Asheville. We were trying to figure out what type of space this piece fits in, whether it's experimental or we go to a proscenium, and we landed on proscenium stage for these dancers. They are amazing.
And tell us your name and where you're from.
My name is Donald Roop, and I am from Orlando, Florida. And I co founded a theater company there called Renaissance Theater Company. And we only produce new works in Orlando. And we fell in love with the show after seeing it. They brought it to the Orlando International Fringe Festival, which is one of the largest festivals in the world. And we fell in love with it because it's just like an electric storytelling masterpiece in my humble opinion. And we just thought, I had never personally seen a story told through dance in this way, where it has such a clear narrative for quote unquote us regular people. I'm a regular person. To where I really felt, I understood the character's journey. I understood everything that was happening. And I just fell in love with the piece. And we produced it twice in Orlando after that. And the audiences, we kind of trick people in to the theater who would have never watched a dance piece. In Orlando, commercial dance is not as welcomed here as it is here. But the thing that we saw over and over again was people just falling in love with this story and understanding dance in a way that quote unquote people like me, regular people, don't really understand dance usually. And so I think it's a really unique storytelling piece through dance that I've never seen anything quite like it.
Tell me a little bit about your theater company. You produce new works. What kind of shows do you look for?
Well, we were founded. We're pretty young. We founded in 2021, and in the height of the pandemic, which, as you know, is a great time to start a theater company. And we kind of discovered a new audience in Orlando right away that's craving new works, genuine new works, not based off of source material, just from the heart, diverse perspectives. And we've found that's what we've focused on, is diverse storytelling. We do a lot of storytelling for the LGBT plus community, which is kind of a surprise for people who understand the politics in Florida. But that is probably why it's so necessary. So we produce new works like that, and Ain't Done Bad tells an LGBT plus story in a way that is different from other shows that we've seen, and that it is through dance, and it is so universal in its storytelling that people within the community and also people who are not part of the LGBT plus community kind of understand this journey of coming out and self-acceptance in a way that maybe they wouldn't if it was sung or spoken.
This is life. This is human connection. And I think what Donald touched on is it reaches everybody, and whatever community you come from. And Jacob is just a master storyteller, using his art form to create and carve out these roles that are crystal clear. A lot of choreographers throw in extra. You'll have the big 11th hour number and everything like that, but it's not continuing the story. And every part of this show resonates, and you feel in each character is so clear that your heart, it's palpable. I mean, you were in the audience, right?
It's overwhelming, actually.
Yes. So this will be the first time that we've put an intermission in this show, but I think it leaves it's at a great point where we just ended what you just saw. It's a great point in his journey to come back and then follow it all the way through. So it's really, it would be amazing if we were during Pride, but I feel like Pride to me is all year round.
Exactly. I think it's kind of great because it's continuing that cycle. Where would you like to see this show go after New York?
I mean, for myself, this is cliche maybe, but I'm just happy that it's getting the audience that it will get now. My hope is really for the creator that is Jacob Carr, that this kind of cements for him a new journey in his career as a creator and a choreographer, and I think it will. He's as a performer. People in the dance community know who he is. They already value him in the way that he should be valued. But my hope for this piece is that it shines a new spotlight on him as a creator and as a creative, and also just as a gay man. I just hope that people see this and have an awakening in themselves. So, of course, everybody has big dreams for what happens with shows, but I'm happy with what we've got. I think that this is a story that will resonate with people in New York City, and I'm thrilled that more people will get to see it.
And what is your hopes and dreams for this show?
Well, as Donald said, I'm thrilled to have it here right now during the summer. Dancers flood, aspiring, any type of dancer floods to the city in the summer. So we're reaching the maximum amount of dancers, as well as the theater community and the LGBT community as well. So I feel like I've already been approached by somebody to bring it to San Francisco. Why are you in New York? You need to be in San Francisco. So I think that there is a life for this show, for sure. And definitely, as Donald said, this does mark a new chapter for Jacob as a creative.
We've seen a lot of stuff go from theater to PBS as a special, or even now Titanic is going into the theaters. Can we see that possibly happening for this show?
Oh, I think it would film beautifully. We did a promo shoot with Matt Murphy, and he could not get enough of these dancers. They're so photogenic. I think it would be a beautifully filmed piece.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those old school live performances, everything people. So,
Well, so am I, but I'm from LA originally, and they had American theater on film. Yeah. And even though I saw a lot of theater, those performances on film made me want to see more. Yeah, I craved whenever it came on TV. I craved whenever it came even more accessible.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Patty. I think the movement and the quality of the emotional performances that these performers give translates to another medium for sure. I think that anything that gets more people to see really, truly unique, fresh, new stories that reflect a changing world, any medium is a welcomed outlet.
And is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like our audiences to know?
Well, that put me on the spot.
I didn't mean to. I meant to give you your say.
I think that Jacob is bringing a gift to the dance community here, and we saw that through the auditions. We saw 190. I've never seen dancers give as much as they did. Remember, Donald? It was so energetic. They danced so hard. I was a dancer here. I've been in dance auditions, and I've never seen them do, because this is so fulfilling. It feels good. You watch these dancers, it feels good to them. That's why they push and push and push. And I think that making dance for dancers to do roles, to be actors, and show everybody what they have, this is what the community is hungry for, and I'm glad that we're bringing it here.
And Donald, do you want last words?
Yeah, I think another thing that's important to note is that there's another character in the show, which is the music, and it's all performed by an up-and-coming LGBT performer, country singer named Orville Peck. And we worked with his people to license the music for this show, which is kind of a rare thing, although it has happened, of course. But putting this story set to country music is kind of an interesting dichotomy, made more more fascinating by the fact that the singer is gay himself, which in the country music industry is still pretty uncommon. I just think it's always important to acknowledge that the backdrop to this beautiful story is the music of this up and coming gay country music superstar.
No, the music was phenomenal, and I agree. Tell us again when the show is playing.
So we start previews July 9th through the 13th. We'll open on the 14th and we close on September 1st.